Hello everyone and welcome back to Polly's Pretties. We are back to do the last day of the August mini challenge, which is hashtag make it with me. And this is day 15, ice cream from Circle Punches. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So let me show you the punches I've pulled. I've got a big 2 and 1/4, I can't read. It's a 2 and 1/4 from EK Success. Then we have a 1-inch one from Fiskars. And these are all circles. And then we have a 1/2 inch one, from Fiskars as well. And that's all I'm going to use. Now, I also went ahead, I told you we'd be using the same scrapbook paper that we did the layout on, and I added my photo mats. I did them in the purple polka dotted, because there's purple in the ribbon I used, so I thought that looked really cute. So for now, I'm going to sit them right over there, out of the way. And I've pulled this yellow polka dot one, because this is going to be our bowl. And you'll see what I mean by bowl. And I've got 3 water-based markers here that we're also going to use. So let us just get into this and get going. I'm going to bring you down to the desk. Down, down, down. Thank you very much. Hello. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. We're going to punch some circles. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think 4 will do us. So I'm just going to lay that aside for a minute. And we're officially done with that punch at the moment. I may use it again later, we'll see. But we are done with it for now. Now you're going to get, where'd I just put them? Aha, scissors. Such a thing exists in this house, it really does. Okay, now, you could fold this to find your center. I'm not real picky about perfect centers. We're going to cut straight smack across the center of our yellow circle. Now you have 2 right there. And we're going to do that with all 4. I am not worried about perfection. If you are, you cut it a different way. And here are our bowls. Cute little bowls, huh? All right. Next, we're going to move these aside up here, so we're not ready for them yet. I'm going to use scraps of white cardstock that I have here. And first, I'm going to take my big one. And we're going to want at least 2 for every bowl. So we're going to just place it on there, punch it out. Mine kind of tend to fly at me, so that's what we're going to do. And I'm just going to keep punching until I don't have any more room to punch. If I have extras, it ain't a big deal. Okay. I'm not so sure too much of the other side's going to be big enough for this. So let me see about here. That punched a hole so much that it punched apart. That's cool. Okay, that might be able to get out of that one. I'll have to see if there's any other space to get any more out of that later. But I do see I can get some. Right there if I don't kill it all. So, not too many, maybe 2, maybe 1. Maybe 2. Yeah, 2, okay. Alright. So, if I don't have enough, I know how I can remedy that. Then we're going to take our smaller punch. And you don't need quite as many of these. So if you want to do maybe 8 or 10, that'd probably do you. And I'll show you what we're going to do with all these white circles here and all of them that we're going to punch out of this little one here in a minute. I did forget a certain color, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay, well, I'll get that. No biggie. Okay, let me sit up down here. And yes, I do use a lot of my scraps for stuff like this. I think that might be enough for today, so we'll set that there. We'll move this over here. And then there was one color I forgot when I was grabbing colors. Ew, I don't like that one. That I'm going to have to get now. Meanie, meanie, meanie. Ah, down there. Alright, red. Okay. So, I'm going to color some of these up with these three colors. So we've got our strawberry color, our lime, and our blueberry. And all I'm going to do is, and these, like I said, are water-based, I'm going to take the paint pen end of it, and I don't care if it goes off on the plastic mat that I'm working on here. That's no big issue. And I am going to just go along with my color. And if you had colored paper, you could just use colored paper and save yourself this step. I don't have colored paper next to me. Mine's all buried at the moment. And unfortunately, where it's at, I'm not digging into at the moment. I'm just not. And I don't mind if my ice cream isn't exactly all the same shade every single place. I think that gives it a little bit more character. So I'm not going to complain about it. And anyway, here's one little strawberry ice cream piece. We can lay that over there. I'm going to do another strawberry real quick. I know I want strawberries, at least a few of them, because we love strawberry around this house. Hope everyone's had a great day. It's been a good day here. It's hot. I mean, it is what it is. But as far as like, it hasn't been chaotic. It's been really nice. We've had a beautiful Saturday. I made a beautiful dinner for us. We had what we call Polly's Southern Spaghetti. And then we also had cheesecake for dessert. And we had cheese stuffed garlic bread with our spaghetti. So that was pretty cool. If you're wondering what's in my spaghetti, I use hamburger and I use mild Italian sausage and mix them. And then and they're ground up. I don't do meatballs. And then I also use mini pepperonis. I get peppers and onions and put in it, and chunks of tomato. And then I also am really picky about my sauce. It has to have a really good flavor to it, like a garden flavor. So I do that. And then, like I said, we had cheese stuffed garlic bread and we had cheesecake. And it was really good. We enjoyed dinner and had a nice little talk. And waited on some packages that haven't got here yet. I'm hoping they do before the end of the day. Says they can come clear up till 9 o'clock. Don't know about that. But we'll see. So, okay, there's my 4 little strawberry, and I think 4 is all I'm going to do with those right now. I'll lay this over here in case I need more. Okay, and alright, let's do our blueberry. Oh, maybe. And like I said, if you had colored paper and wanted to use it instead, by all means, go for it. Save yourself the time if you want to. I just didn't have mine dug out, and so that's why I'm doing this. Plus, it allows me to use my water-based markers. So I did see Crayola's coming out with some new crayons and colored pencils and stuff, so May have to go looking and see what that's all about. Everybody knows I do love Crayola, so might have to get in there and do a Crayola video. So there's one blueberry. I should have done that, but anyway, I'll get it later. So this will probably be one of the longer parts of making the ice cream on the page, but I don't mind this part. This is relaxing, so. And like I said, if I have extra white circles, that doesn't bother me at all either, because I do have projects I can use them in. Okay. I'm going to do something quick, because I'm going to keep doing that with my finger, because that annoys me. And then I'm going to have a blue finger. So, we're just going to stop that right now before it gets started. Because I don't want a blue finger. Now, if you're wondering why I'm using water-based markers instead of, say, alcohol markers, because the alcohol markers are not really great to have next to your pictures and photos. So that's why I've chosen water-based markers. Now, yes, the water-based can bleed if it gets wet and stuff like that. But my photo albums generally, especially my scrapbook album ones, my scrapbook albums don't generally stay anywhere that's going to get too wet. So, right, there's 3. Clean up that, because I absolutely cannot. I know me. We'll do one more of those. And like I said, I may have too many of things. And that's okay, I mean, because I can use things in other projects. So I don't worry about too many. Okay, there's the last blueberry one. Now, that's one of the reasons I like that mat, because it just wipes right up. Hey, I might have done this pretty good. Looks like I might only have one extra big round circle. Alright. Now I'm going to color my lime. Okay, so we have one of the lime ones done. Okay. When I originally had this idea in my head, I thought about strawberry chocolate vanilla. But those are the very basic ice cream flavors, obviously. And sometimes basic isn't what you want. Sometimes, especially here, we want wild flavors like the lime, like the blueberry. And now strawberry is a staple though. Strawberry is a big one in this house because we all, like everybody, loves strawberry. So that's why strawberry is definitely in the mix. But like my husband likes the taste of lime, and sometimes I do. My daughter sometimes will, not always. As far as that goes, blueberry I think's mainly me, and it's not very, very often. It's just a now and then kind of flavor. So, alright, so there's our last lime. Now, we're going to pick out 4 of these tiny, tiny little round ones. And there's going to be a lot of those left. But that is teetotale. Okay, it really is. Stick them right up there. Okay, we're going to take our red, and we're going to give these a red color. There's one, and that's going to be our cherry. Two. There's 3. We've got one more here. On a side note, did anybody... Ooh, sorry, did anybody else see that they're talking about making another Scooby-Doo, a live-action one? But they're not going to use the same actors they used before? I don't know who this new bunch of actors is. Okay, now I can get rid of our little thing there. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring our pages back. And I'm going to bring both mine up here at the time, because I don't want to lose everything that's going on over there. And what I'm going to do is for me, I've got white space here and here. And let me see if I can get this to where you can see it a little better. Okay, so I've got white space here and here. So I want to make sure I at least put a bowl of our ice cream in each of those white spaces. So what I'm thinking is, ooh, not 2, girl, 1. Lay your bowl, okay? I don't know if you can see me. I don't think you can. Let me pull you out of this corner. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's hard to get you to a really good place where you can see me. So I'm going to try to pull you up here, but we'll see. Okay, really? You're going to be that kind of person? Okay. Now, there, maybe. Sorry about all the jiggling. Alright, so anyway, then you take, now you gotta come down. Boy, this is just not doing it today, is it? Okay, here we go. Now you can see. Alright, so you have your little bowl, and then you place your ice cream, and they can overlap. That's just fine. And you just do your little ice cream, and you can even sink them down a little further, make it look like it's in the bowl like that. Okay, and that tells you that might be a good placement. That might be what you want. And then you just take your cherry, and you could decide to put it kind of off-center, or if you're very particular, you could put centered. And that is your ice cream. I'm going to go ahead and put one together here, and I'm going to put it on the page. So now, here's where I'm going to be different though. Instead of placing my bowl flat, I think I want it poofed up just a bit. Now, I'm not saying it has to be, sticking so far up that it looks ridiculous, but we can put just a little bit of poofiness to it. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get our lime. We're going to pop it right there. Okay, make sure I have strawberry because I don't want blue and green right next to each other. Okay, we've got our strawberry, and I am going to overlap mine just a smidgen. And then we're going to do our blueberry. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and put my bowl on. And remember, the bowl is popped up just a little. So I want to make sure about spacing. Anyway, I'm going to leave that one hang because I messed that up. Next time I'll know I have to move that in. And then I think I'm going to also try to pop my cherry here up just a little bit. I don't want a ton, just a tiny, tiny little bit. I mean, after all, a cherry's not that big. So, and if you space it right, which I didn't, then you don't have to worry about any of it. But there is, oh, not 2 pages probably, but there is the little ice cream in a bowl. Now, next time I'm going to try to place them a little better here. So, one of each again. And these are the flat ones. All right, pop that aside. Now, remember to overlap just a hair more. Here is the lime. And the, maybe, and the strawberry. That's a little better, I think. And then the blueberry. Alrighty. And there we are. As we say, where's the bowl? Alrighty. And then we bring our bowl in. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah, that one turned out better. Yes, it did. And then we're going to get just a small little piece for the cherry again. And there's our second bowl. Now, the second one looks a bit better than the first one because I did the placing a little better. But that's, you work with it. So there's our first page there, ready for pictures. Now let's go to our second page and work. So And here we go. We're going to get our ice cream there ready. There's the ice cream. Grab a bowl. Oopsie doopsie. Okay. That's all right. Now I'm going to carefully place our bowl on. Grab a cherry. A bit of foam tape on the back. Voila. Then we can go ahead and do our last 3 ice cream. I think I did put them in the wrong order. Ooh, boy, that would have been ugly. And there we are with that. Lime. Strawberry. Blueberry. A bowl. Alrighty. And then we're ready for our last cherry. And that, my friends, is just how easy that you could make your own little ice cream embellishment. And I think it's perfectly cute. Now, we're not done though. We're going to add a little something. So, let me get my cherry on here. Get that guy out of the way. Now, you've seen me use these markers here to do the coloring and stuff, but we're not finished. Let me put these back and I'll show you what's next. All right. I think. I see. Come here. Yes, all right. That's what I was hoping. All right, so we're going to turn our page so we can look at it. And we're going to take this little pen. I'm just going to go across here to give our bowl a little definition. And you don't have to do this step if you don't want to. But look how much different the bowl looks now. Let me sit it up this way and let you see it. Look how different, oh, okay, too high. Look how different our bowl looks now, because it has that little line there to give it some definition. And that's what I'm going to do on these other 3. Okay, so there's those two. See? Really cute. And it doesn't overdo the page, so that your pictures will still be what everybody really looks at. And there's our second page, and the one that I messed up at the top because I didn't scoot it over far enough. But I'm afraid to take it off because I'm afraid it'll rip. So we're going to call those done. Now there's our ice cream build. And like I said, all it took was 3 punches. It took a 2 1/4 inch, 2 1/4 inch here to make the bowls, and we cut it in half. 1 inch, that made your ice cream, and the 1/2 inch, which made the cherry. That's literally all it took, and we made those. And I think they're quite cute. So sometimes using what you have on hand can be quite nice instead of going out and spending money and maybe not finding what you were really looking for in the first place. So that being said, I hope you all enjoyed all this. I hope you enjoyed this August challenge. That was 15 days of different challenge parts, like earrings, bracelets, tags, scrapbook layout, the wire wrap beads, the necklace, the beaded pen, the card making, the beaded polka tool, scrapbook embellishments, rosette making, turning a cabochon into a charm, easy bookmarks, pet frames, and of course then the ice cream here. And I hope that you've had fun with it, because for me it has been fun to do something a little different and a little more out of the box. And I'm still brainstorming on what I want to do for September. I had one idea, but I don't know if it's going to work, so I'm going to have to look and see. But as soon as I get it all put together in my head and down on paper, I will definitely let you know. That way, if anyone wants to play along, they can. All of mine are open collabs. I don't usually do ones where you have to sign up. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. I do appreciate it greatly. I hope that this gave you some ideas. Maybe use your punches that you have differently. Not all of us have the same ones. And, of course, my friends, smile. It makes people wonder what you're up to. Hug someone. It's good for them. It's good for you. It's medically proven. And above all, please, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. And if you can't, please fake it till you make it, so you don't add any more negativity to the world that's already crazy negative enough. And as always, my friends, remember, you are a blessing. Don't let anyone tell you different. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.